Cenex gas station. You saw it seconds ago at 2110 South University Drive last night for some sort of a disturbance. It turned into a large police presence with crime scene tape up around the parking lot. You saw it involved a crash with two cars in front of the store. Police say Nathaniel Graywind was taken to the hospital for cuts to his hand and then arrested for terrorizing, reckless endangerment, and DUI. They say more information will be released a little later on today. Police in the Northern Valley want your help finding that guy on your screen, 26-year-old. He hasn't been seen since early Sunday morning. Anthony Valdez was last spotted leaving the Level 10 nightclub in Grand Forks around 1:30 Sunday morning. The department is asking people living on North 3rd and 5th Streets down to Gateway Drive to search their homes, cars, and security cameras for any signs of that missing man. New this morning, a cold night outside to bring awareness to homelessness in the FM Metro. The CEO and board members of Fargo's New Life Center Men's Shelter spent the night outdoors. They say on any given night in Fargo-Moorhead, hundreds of people are without necessities like food, shelter, and clothing. And when temperatures drop below zero, people sleeping outside in their cars or in other uninhabitable places fear how they will survive. The New Life Shelter is among hundreds of nonprofits looking for financial help tomorrow during Giving Hearts Day. That's a day for donations across the area. 6:51 now on this Wednesday morning. Let's get a check of your forecast. 31 degrees. We know that can be a tricky number out there, Lisa.
It sure is. It's factoring in right now. We're looking at some precipitation coming down in Fargo. You can see at the bottom of your screen in the light there. And we are also dealing with some wind that's out of the northwest. It's strong. It's shaking our camera. And that cooling wind is dropping those temperatures below the freezing mark. So any melting we had yesterday, any precipitation or wet roads we've got this morning starting to freeze over. And we're hearing more reports of some icy and slick spots here to start off the day. Right now, Fargo at 31 degrees. So what we'll see is likely those bridge decks start to freeze over first and any locations that tend to get a little bit colder. And then we'll eventually see our numbers go down a little bit more and most roads will start to get icy that aren't treated. Now in Grand Forks and Thief River Falls, we've got some reports of some flakes coming down right now. And of course, right here in Fargo, we're seeing it. It's 25 degrees in Grand Forks, Thief River Falls 23, so pretty cool in those spots already. 25 in Bemidji, Fergus Falls is at 30 and 25 in Devil's Lake. A little bit of light snow being reported in Bemidji as well. So a couple of hazards here. One, the slick spots. We've got some wind too. It's out of the northwest. Again, it's that cooling direction. And there are places with gusts into the 30s, both in the east and the west. Over in Jamestown, we've got a gust to 37 miles per hour right now. And in the Northern Valley, we're looking at some 30s as well. Devil's Lake checking in at 39 miles per hour. And Baudette, a 30 mile per hour gust. In Grand Forks 31. That makes for it to be unpleasant out there. Any snow that's falling is getting blown around a little bit, so you're going to have some reduced visibility. It's not heavy snow, but it is enough to cause some issues. You can see these areas of snow sliding through Grand Forks and again into the Fargo-Moorhead area right now. And then we're watching for the next system up to the north and west. That one doesn't approach until tomorrow morning. So we're in this transition zone right now, and it includes dipping temperatures. Here's a look at your bus stop planner. It looks mild, but don't let that fool you. With the wind, it feels more like the single digits and teens, so you're going to want to send the kids out with that heavier winter coat. And then into the afternoon, into the teens to about 20 degrees or so for your afternoon temperatures, so feeling even colder later today. So kind of one of those days that's a little bit deceiving here. Make sure you're taking it easy on the roads and planning for wintertime temperatures.
And have that VNL weather app handy. Lisa, thank you. Breaking news this morning out of Beijing. Snowboarder Lindsay Jacobellis just scored the first gold medal for Team USA at the Winter Olympics. The snowboard cross win is her first Olympic gold. Today's win was 16 years in the making since she suffered a brutal fall that cost her gold in the Olympic debut in 2006. Those games were in Torino. Local school districts are feeling the impacts of the nationwide substitute teacher shortage. In the Valley Today's JC Dodd joins us live with how local districts are handling that scarcity of subs. Good morning, JC.
Good morning, Jordan. I'm here at Ellen Hopkins Elementary in Moorhead, where some students walking into school today, their teacher might be out and they might not have a substitute either. Now, Moorhead is just one of the many districts across the metro and across the country that are having to crunch classrooms together because of the lack of subs. Now, I want you to take a look. I've spoken with Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead officials to talk about how many subs they're down. Take a look at this on your screen. You can see Fargo Public Schools has on average 70 substitute teachers working every day, and officials say they need anywhere from 80 to 100. Now in West Fargo, they have an average of 77 coming in on a daily basis, while they have 145 teachers calling in absent per day. Now that number from West Fargo school officials also includes teaching positions that don't require a sub, like counselors, deans, and library media specialists. Now here in Moorhead, it's the same story. They have about 44 subs every day, but officials tell me they need on average 100. Now, Jordan, when there isn't enough staff to cover all of the classrooms, schools are having to stretch resources just to get through the day. Now, in West Fargo, they say it has been a team effort this year to cover all of their bases. Some teachers are having to use their prep period to cover other classes, and even administrators are stepping in and covering classes as well. Now, in Fargo and Moorhead, they are combining classrooms on as a last resort, combining those classrooms, meaning a lot of kids in one classroom. And in Fargo, they say it's especially happening to elementary schools like these. Jordan?
And we all know more one-on-one time makes for better education. So JC Don reporting live this morning. Thank you. We have new information on a deadly crash along I-94 near Tower City last month. The report indicates the driver was looking at his phone just before impact with a stalled vehicle. A search warrant filed in Cass County says Tim Hagerott told the state trooper that he felt his phone vibrate that night and then looked down to see the notification. And when he looked up, a stalled tow truck was directly in front of him. The trooper says there's no evidence of braking before impact. The crash killed Hagerott's wife, Kelly, and critically injured him and his two daughters. Police say a mechanical issue caused that tow truck driver, Mario Butler, to stop, but the vehicle was left in the traffic lane. It's unclear if any emergency lights were activated on that truck. A Minneapolis man is accused of being on FaceTime last spring when he was involved in a deadly crash on a Twin Cities highway. 30-year-old Doral Gregory Jr. was charged yesterday with criminal vehicular homicide. The criminal complaint says traffic was stop and go that morning and down to a single lane through a construction zone when a pickup going 75 miles an hour slammed into a car that had just been involved in a crash. The car driver was killed. The pickup then hit two other vehicles. Investigators say that Gregory was speeding in his pickup while FaceTiming with his wife, and he never stepped on the brakes before that impact. 3 child protection leaders from Cass County are stepping down after internal investigations revealed they created a toxic work environment. County officials say Linda Dorff, the division manager for family services, and social worker supervisors Rick Van Camp and Tamara Anderson all retired. They've been on administrative leave for about 2 months because of complaints against them. The investigation revealed that Van Camp used unprofessional language and then mocked another employee for crying. Grievances filed say that Dorff and Anderson encouraged him. County Administrator Robert Wilson says the investigation is now closed after all 3 of them left their positions. These aren't the only county employees to be in hot water recently. Last month, Economic Assistance Manager Sidney Schock was placed on paid administrative leave due to a grievance filed against him. Bemidji police want your help finding a 15-year-old runaway. Take a look at your screen. Danielle Kinderswan was last seen yesterday afternoon near Bemidji High School. Contact Bemidji PD if you have any information about her. Fargo police will be remembering fallen officer Jason Mosier this Friday, 6 years after he was gunned down during a domestic disturbance call. The ceremony will be held at 9 in the morning outside of police headquarters. The public is invited to attend. West Fargo police officer Tim Brown is now back on the job after a heart attack while on duty sidelined him this past Halloween. He was booking 2 women into the Cass County jail when he collapsed and became unresponsive. Brown was then flown to Nebraska for specialized care, and he returned home in November.
I just wanted to thank the community for all the support they gave, sending the cards and really showing my family that the community support for the police is still there.
Co-workers at the police department say his journey has been nothing short of miraculous. There is another first at the Beijing Olympics. Jessie Diggins is bringing another Olympic medal back to Minnesota. The Afton native, which is down by Stillwater, won a bronze medal in the cross-country individual sprint, making her the first American woman to win an Olympic medal in an individual cross-country skiing event and the second American ever, behind Bill Koch in 1976. The 30-year-old Minnesotan is no stranger to Olympic success. She won gold in the team sprint freestyle at the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang. And a reminder, you can catch those Olympics right here on KVLY. The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More news and weather coverage coming up for you on the Fargo CW. Have a great Wednesday.